Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome to Doki Carpe Diem, a DDLC mod, which I actually wrote. This is technically the second mod I've written, and, well, if we ignore the Tainted Love Demo, this would technically be the first full mod that I have written to be released. This was made as a bit of a side project from what would be my first visual novel, or first mod being written, as a sort of collaborative effort between me and another person, me doing the writing and then him doing the programming, with technically a third person as a bit of the coding consultant. Anyway, so Carpe Diem, it's a mod. It's designed to be played after the official game has been completed. And you're gonna need that, but luckily I already have that. And and I agree with the fish thing. So let's see how this turned out. This is my first time playing it, so I have no idea how it turned out here. And yep, there is the logo. And yeah, I guess this is the menu. Not much else for me to say there. Let's see. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Let's see here. Okay, and you know what? Maybe since I'm getting kind of back into the habit of doing it, First, I need to learn how to spell and capitalize my own name correctly. Okay, there. Let the shipping commence. Ah! Damn it! Turn it off! Stop! Oh my god, make it stop, please! Ugh, morning already? Yeah, I'd probably have that same reaction too. Well, aside from me being like, ah, make it stop, and oh my, what the f- Okay, I get it! Ah, seriously. Still within the sweet embrace of sleep, I reach over to my nightstand table to try and shut off my alarm clock. Except it is only after I realize the source of that annoying sound isn't the clock. It's coming from my phone. Oops! I question why I have an alarm clock, yet don't use it as much. But it's still a nice clock, and something to remember my grandmother by. After fumbling with my phone, I get out of bed and do some stretching and yawning. Somebody once told me... Okay, no. I take a moment to look at my phone to see if anything has gone on while I was asleep. Okay, we gotta check the interwebs and my Twitter notifications. Sure enough, there's a text message. Hey you, good morning. Hope you didn't forget about our special day today. Trust me, I wouldn't even dare think about forgetting. After shooting a quick response back, I make my way downstairs and go about my daily routine. Today is a very special day, and I want to look and feel as great as possible. After enjoying my daily cereal, I make my way outside and head out to the park. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm park bound. It's very warm and sunny out. School is out for the summer, and the weather feels absolutely fine. Aside from the sounds of children playing, it's rather quiet around the neighborhood. Oh, hello. It takes me about 10 minutes to reach the park. Now, where is she? After scanning the area, I think I spot just who I am looking for. White sundress, chestnut brown hair tied into a ponytail, a white ribbon, and a pen in her hand, as she looks thoughtfully around her. Yep, there she is. I don't think she spotted me yet, so I decide to take a new approach. I slide out of view to avoid detection, opting to get behind the bench she's sitting at. And I slowly but surely walk up behind her, silently getting closer. Just as I inch forward, she lifts her head suddenly and turns around to face me. I'll give you an A for effort, but you might want to rethink your approach next time. And there she is. Ah! I'm glad you made it. Did I keep you waiting long? Kept you waiting, huh? No, not at all. I was actually just writing a poem to pass the time. Can I see? Oh, well, it's not done yet, so I'd rather not. Oh, I see. I see how it is. Fair enough. So, where did you want to go first? She gets up from her bench and does a bit of a twirl, smiling sweetly at me as she does so. I honestly can't say how lucky I feel to have Monika in my life. We have a little bit of Monika in my life. We hadn't been able to hang out as much after we had... We hadn't been able to hang out as much as we had liked after school ended for the semester for us. But, at last, it seems like the stars have aligned for us. At last. Okay, no. That just sounds evil. Well, actually, yes, that is evil, but no, not in this context. As of today, we have been dating for 6 months. I can't even begin to comprehend that, let alone I can't begin to comprehend that, let alone speak. Let alone comprehend how, out of all the guys she could have started going out with, she actually picked me and gave me a chance. Now our relationship has blossomed into something wonderful. I know it sounds a bit childish, but since we're already here, why not go over by... Wow, Daniel, you need to learn how to talk, especially when you're doing my voice. I know it sounds a bit childish, but since we're already here, why not go over to the swings first? After that, we can go grab something to eat. You drive a hard bargain, but works for me. She giggles at me as she is putting her pen and paper away in her handbag. Monika playfully shoves my shoulder. Well, it's like, yeah, now I'm here, like, practice what you preach. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, Monika playfully shoves my shoulder as she takes me by the hand and leads me over to the playground area. She doesn't show her playful side very often, so it's always a treat when she does, especially considering I just adore that about her. There's a gentle breeze as we make our way over to the swings. My god, what? Man, I'm slipping. Oddly enough, there isn't really anyone else here. Although considering how safe and at ease I feel with Monika, I could care less about the odd stares we might get. All the people who are just sitting there or standing there with their arms crossed, nodding, being like, yeah, those are those people again. Yeah. I don't care about them. Monika hands me her small handbag as she makes her way over to one of the swings. Once she sits down, she turns my way, signaling me to come on over. Okay. I happily oblige, trudging through the sand and positioning myself right behind her. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. You know what to do, right? You say that as if this is the first time we've done this. Of course I know what to do. Sure, I'm sure. This park is where we had our first official date, after all. And I still remember how Monika surprised me when she told me she wanted to go on the swings. I hadn't really been on one since my grandmother and I used to enjoy the one in her backyard. Or, she had in her backyard. So it was a somewhat awkward experience at first, to say the least. Setting her handbag down close to the swing set, I began to push her lightly, slowly building up that momentum as she swings back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. You call that a push? Oh, are you challenging me? I'm only getting started. I decided to turn up the intensity. Gradually, with each and every swing, Monika seemed to be really enjoying herself, as evident from her delighted laughter and the bright smile on her face. After a while, Monika told me I could stop, to which I happily obliged once more. "It will be done, milady." When she asked me if I'd like a turn next, I lightly turned her down. With Monika, I felt as though I could be myself without fear of judgment, and I could share some of my hidden secrets. She was thankfully understanding and sympathetic towards me, and my bittersweet feelings related to the swings. Yeah, so unfortunately, I did not really go into too much detail in this part as I maybe should have, but oh well. This is actually kind of based a bit on my experience with swings. I guess story time with me, and this music is oddly kind of fitting. When I was younger, my grandmother did actually have a swing set in her backyard, and when I was little, we would get on there and we would swing together, and I remember just really liking it and just enjoying being in her company. When she started getting sick, and she wasn't able to really go outside that long, or even move around as much as she used to, I would basically end up having to swing on it by myself after a while when I would visit her. She had this sliding door next to the swing set, so she would still kind of be there watching over me to make sure everything was okay. But then one day she died, and I just felt empty inside. So when my mom and I were at her house kind of trying to get all of our things together, I got out there on the swing, and well, I looked to the screen door and she wasn't there. I was by myself, and it just really hit me hard. So, at least that was the kind of feeling that I was trying to convey here, but yeah, unfortunately, I probably rushed through writing this a bit too much, or I rushed on getting it done, since I wanted this to be a small sort of project, since we were kind of testing the waters here, all of us, or both of us, technically, but you know what I'm trying to say. Point is, this is basically a test mod, and I wanted to see like how everything would behave, but yeah, unfortunately, I guess you could say the story may have suffered a little bit. Alright, the next stop is this restaurant I've been wanting to check out. Lead the way, milady. You're such a dork. But I'm your dork. Well, I guess... yeah, I guess I'm... it does sound like something I would say. But, yeah. Did I mention that I don't remember much of what I wrote, considering this was maybe a bit over a month ago? Yes, but I'm your dork. Yeah, true. Monika giggled to herself as she began leading us away from the park and into the downtown area. There's that girl again! The streets were bustling with crowds. The streets were bustling with crowds of people going about their busy days. I always felt nervous being around, or being surrounded by crowds of people, for some reason or another, ever since I was a little kid. As if I'd get swept away and separated from my mother, should we lose track of each other, I suppose. Another kind of fear that I used to have when I was growing up. Especially during Christmas time and Christmas shopping, that was always hectic. As I felt my mind wander, it was then I realized I lost sight of Monika. I tried to remain calm as I scanned the area looking for her. To my surprise, I feel a hand grab onto my wrist. Oh my god, they're taking me! As I turned to look, sure enough, it is Monika smiling gently at me. It's this... okay, yeah. Man. Well, it's this way. Hang on to me so we don't get lost. Oh, right. I held onto Monika's wrist as we navigated through the crowds of people until we eventually made it to this nice little restaurant. Okie dokie. We made our way inside, and before we knew it, we were already seated at a booth. Excellent service you got going here. I couldn't help but look around me and take in the sight of the place. It was interesting to say the least. I could hear Monika giggling. What is it? Okay, well... Oh, nothing. I just thought it was cute how you were looking all over the place. I mean, I haven't seen it before, so you can't blame me for being at least a bit curious. No, I mean, I get that. Still, though. Monika tells me a bit about how she learned about this place. Apparently one of her friends named Megan was the one who told her about the place, given how her uncle is actually the owner of the place. It isn't long before our waitress comes along and asks to take our order. Considering I haven't had anything from here before, I decide to go with the tried and true classic. A hamburger with fries! You can't go wrong with that, I guess. Monika orders a potato curry soup with some roasted cauliflower. To drink, we both decide to get a lemonade. Once the waitress takes our order, she picks up our menus and lets us know our order will be right out soon. Fast service. Despite having different tastes in food, no pun intended, Monika and I have had this sort of mutual understanding about one another. Although Monika has expressed in the past she would feel a bit better if I ate more healthily, she respects my decisions to eat the food I enjoy the most. I do, however, honor her wishes every so often and partake in her vegan lifestyle. After all, she's only looking out for me, so I can understand that she would feel better knowing I was eating and living healthy. We talked a bit about our summer vacation up to this point as we wait for our food to arrive. Natsuki went to spend part of her summer with her mom after both her parents began to reconcile, and Yuri went to spend a few weeks with her Aunt Tsubasa. Considering she is often by herself when her mom is working overseas. Meanwhile, Sayori went on a family trip to visit her grandparents in the country, which left only Monika and me out of the entire literature club to spend at least part of the summer together. How interesting that worked out. Monika herself has had some rough patches recently with her father, although I know the two of them have been working things out slowly but surely. As my aunt would put it, just one step at a time. After a while, our waitress comes by with our food and drinks, setting them down for each of us and wishing us a pleasant meal. We thank her as she goes on her way. Your curry looks pretty good. I'll have to remember that for the next time around. I don't mind sharing some of mine if you'd like. No, that's okay. Besides, I made my decision. If you have any left over, then maybe. I don't want to take away from you. No need to worry. Besides, I'm more than happy to share, but okay. Time passes and we eat our food with some idle chit-chat. Considering how awful I am at small talk, Monika is usually the one bringing up topics. Because then otherwise I'll be here like, yeah, nice weather we're having. I mean, the best I could resort to is... Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's written by me. Well, aside from the spelling errors and whatever, I'm here like, this is literally me. It's like I'm predicting myself even though I forgot how I wrote this. I mean, the best I could do without my tongue stop working is resort to asking about the weather, so at least she's pretty understanding with how socially awkward I can be. Soon enough, my burger and fries are done. I look over to Monika and see she has a bit of her curry left over. I see you haven't finished your curry. Yeah, I think I overdid it on the breakfast a little today. Although since I do happen to have some left over, I guess now you'd be more willing to try it? I raise my eyebrow at Monika. You didn't plan that, did you? No. I mean, why would I? Besides, a deal is a deal, so go on. I still feel like she didn't finish her food on purpose, but there's no point in arguing the point. Besides, I know her intentions are good, and she's only trying to be nice. Like a good girlfriend. I just don't want to feel like I'm taking food away from her or anything, but I suppose that's just me overthinking things again. I take my unused silverware from my napkin and take a small serving of the curry. It's not too spicy, and it has just the right amount of flavor with the potato thrown in. All in all, it's pretty good, and soon I can't help myself from eating more. Monika giggles to herself as I'm chowing down. Stupid sexy Monika! Okay, well, I can officially say that now since she's doing the pose. I'm going to take it that you like the curry? Heck yeah, I do. It's heckin' good. See how fun eating healthy can be for you? Okay, you got me. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have a burger every once in a while, but I'm just looking out for you. I give her an understanding nod. I know you are. I promise I'll get better at it soon. So long as you're right beside me, helping me along the way. So that way I don't lose my way. You can count on me. Right. So now that we've had our lunch, what did you have in mind now? Or do you just want to head back to my place for the rest of the afternoon? Well... Monika has this mischievous grin on her face as she says that. When she usually does that, it means she's got something up her sleeve. Totally unexpected of her. When these ideas come to mind, well, let's just say your mileage may vary depending on what she's got cooked up on my behalf. You're not gonna make me run around the parking lot with my arms out, and then I'm here like, zoom, zoom, zoom! Because, yeah, I would... I'm just picturing it now. Just MC just running around the parking lot being like, zoom, zoom, zoom! Zoom, zoom, zoom! Because, I mean, who really wins? Well, Monika wins. But still. What are you getting at? Let's go and pay up first, then we can discuss. We waste no time paying for our food and tipping the waitress. As we step out of the restaurant, I can feel Monika grabbing me by the wrist. Oh my god, Monika, calm down! Alright, time's a-wasting. Wait, what? Where are we going? Where are you taking me? It's a secret! You've been hanging around Sayori too much lately. Just come on, silly. Trust me on this, you'll love it. Alright then, I guess I have no choice. I guess I better get going. With that, I have sold my soul to Monika's irresistible smile. Again. I swear, it's like she knows that's a weakness of mine, so she keeps it as her secret weapon. She's like, okay, what do I have in my arsenal today to totally get him to do whatever? We are going through the neighborhoods until I realize this is more or less the way to school. Oh my god, you're taking me to school, aren't you? No! I'm not going back! You can't make me! Before I can question her, Monika puts a finger to my lips. Keep all questions until the end of the tour. Okay, tour guide Barbie. I can tell... Let's see. I think he's supposed to say this out loud. I can tell you've wanted to say that to me at the right moment. Well then, I guess we're going to school in the middle of the summer. You're gonna force me to read books, aren't you? Talk about irony. Or, no, actually... No, I don't think he is saying this out loud, never mind. I spent the days before summer looking forward to getting away from school, and now my girlfriend is taking me back. I'm not going back! You can't make me! To my surprise, the front gates are open. Shouldn't they have locked this up for the summer? Shh! No more questions. Okay, maybe that time he was supposed to speak it. Alright. I'm guessing we're not at the end of the tour yet. I'm kinda surprised Monika is even doing this. What happened to being Miss Star Student? Then again, I suppose it's not much of a problem since we've graduated. At the same time, that opens the door to a few more concerns. I'm even more shocked when Monika just pushes the door open to get inside. Seriously? What were you expecting? It's a school, not a bank. I guess you're right, but seriously. Monika continues to lead me through the school, partially against my will. Partially because he's enjoying being around her, but then at the same time it's like, why are we here? I'd be lying if I didn't say I was kind of curious about what was so special that Monika would take me all the way to school in the middle of the summer. Before I know it, we are in a familiar part of the school. This definitely brings back a lot of memories. This is where I sold my soul to Monika's irresistible smile. Or the cupcakes. You know, depending on Act 1 or Act 2, whichever you're going through. Talk about some serious deja vu right now. Except instead of Sayori dragging me around by the wrist, it's Monika. Soon enough, we are in front of a familiar classroom. Well, what do you know? Alright, so now what? I mean... Monika wordlessly goes through her handbag and pulls out a key. My eyes widen. You mean you didn't give that back to the teacher? She didn't say I couldn't make a copy of it. You don't have to give back a key if you make a copy of it. So rebellious. Who are you and what have you done with Monika? I don't know you anymore. Okay, I'm not going to be Padme this time. No, trust me. She's right here. Seeing this side to her is a bit of a shocker to me, not gonna lie. I guess considering how much time she spent being the model student, I suppose she felt like it was time to cut loose. Although I kind of wish she had chosen to do so in a different way. One that doesn't make it seem like we're gonna get in trouble. I'm flooded with nostalgia stepping foot in here. It didn't feel like that long ago that Sayori brought me in here, in the hopes that I could connect and form meaningful bonds with people who wouldn't judge me for who I was. Little did I know that not only would I do that, but I would find love and acceptance with Monika. I truly found love in a hopeless place. I look over and see her standing by the windowsill, giving me a peculiar look. So, have you figured it out yet? You wanted to sneak into the school to get into our old club room? That much I think I figured out. Oh, I mean, that much is obvious, but do you know why I did all that? That's when it finally hits me. Considering I was just thinking about this not that long ago, it suddenly makes sense. This is where we... That's right. This is where our beautiful relationship began to bloom. Where we met for the first time after being strangers to each other for so long. For that reason, this room holds a lot of meaning to me. Don't cry, Monika. I can say the same thing. I can't begin to imagine what my life would have been like right now if Sayori hadn't dragged me over here. My life would be nothing. It was but a whisper until you set foot in the door. Or until... you know what I mean. I'm ruining the moment. I never would have met the literature club. I never would have gotten to know you better. We'd still be strangers. I honestly can't imagine things without you now. I never once thought I'd find someone who would look past the perfect wind-up doll act I had and fall for the real me. The original me, so to speak. You've been listening to too much Cascada again. Well, come on, you know what I mean. Honestly, yes. I feel the same way. After being looked at as a bit of an outcast by everyone, I didn't think I'd ever find anyone here who accepted me as I am either. This club seriously changed everything for me, and I haven't felt so alone anymore. That's not all, though. Monika pauses as she reaches into her handbag and pulls out the paper she had from earlier. You kind of surprised me earlier when I was writing this, so I'm sorry if it's not that good, but I want you to have this. Without hesitation, I take the paper from her, unfolding it and reading it over. Okay. Carpe Diem. And we have Monika's music. Loneliness, despair. Lost with no sense of direction. Despite being surrounded by many faces, I felt so alone. I didn't know what to do. Then there was you. It was then that everything went from wrong to right. The stars shone bright, filling my dark October night. So many things I wanted to say, yet I was unable to. How much I wanted to seize the moment and hope that you would listen to what I had to say, and that you felt the same. My heart would stop every time you called my name, hoping you would one day say what I wanted to hear. The stars aligned for us for the very moment, and yet I couldn't bring myself to seize the day before me. It was to my delight when in there you told me how you felt for me at long last. In the end, you were the one to seize the day and truly express all that you truly felt and wanted to say. I am forever grateful to have one such as kind and loving in my life. Warmth, hope. Warmth, hope, a deep connection. I am lonely nevermore. I am taken aback by her words. Monika's confession. I know she often expressed her loneliness to me, but not like this. It seems very humbling and hard to believe that these words are Monika's, and they are directed at me. At least. Okay, he was supposed to ask out loud. This is directed at me, right? Of course it is, silly. Face it, Tiger. You and I really hit the jackpot. I laugh to myself as I hold the poem close to my hand. I cannot help but walk over to where she is. Stupid sexy Monika, you're seducing me. When I am with her, I am at peace. When I am not with her, when I am with her, I no longer feel alone. It's like her poem says, when I am with her, I am lonely nevermore. As I move closer, our faces nearly touch. As I move closer and our faces nearly touch, I hear some annoying loud sound. No! Ugh. Ah! No, stop! Ugh, morning already? Stop! Make it stop! As I fumble around for my phone, I take a moment to process just what went on in my mind. That was a weird dream. It was all a dream. This whole time. Honestly, the things my dreams cook up are so strange sometimes, and yet this felt so real. I wanted it to be real. I look up at my ceiling. Well, my feelings towards Monika are real, but then I don't know about actually going through and confessing to her. I know they always say the worst that can happen is they just say no. But considering she is the club president, and I would still be seeing her every day, I just imagine it would make things awkward on the both of us if she rejects me. I sigh deeply to myself as I resolve to start getting dressed for the school day. It is the middle of October after all. Funny though. Funny. Though. That poem from the dream. People say our dreams often try to tell us things, so I can only wonder if that's what my dream was trying to tell me. Carpe Diem. Seize the day. So in other words, it's like the bearded man says, just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams! Just do it! Okay, well... Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's Carpe Diem. Unfortunately, yeah, I guess without my video as a supplement, there might be some stuff, like, when he speaks certain things out loud that doesn't really translate. Yeah, I guess. Oh well, though, but this is, like I said, technically our first mod being released. So, it's almost like, yeah, the mod itself, there are some things, especially like with my writing and whatever, that could use a little work. But that's what these tests are for! But anyway, well... So yeah, I guess for the most part, I kind of just wanted to write a short mod with that sort of idea in mind, to basically just seize the day and live life the way you want to. Don't live with regrets or questioning, like, what if I had done this or whatever, and, you know, to basically just, yeah, just do it. So, in a sense, yeah, that's more or less what I was trying to go for there. And, yeah, so I don't really know what else to say other than that this is the mod. And like I said, unfortunately, I know I made a lot of writing mistakes in there, so if you can just kind of forgive me for that. And like I said, I am working on that, so there's no need to worry there. And hopefully by the time, say, if and when I get to writing more mods, especially other than October Horizon and Tainted Love, then by then, who knows, maybe I'll have improved a lot more and my writing will be a bit better. But anyway, well, yeah, that's literally Carpe Diem in a nutshell. A literal dream date with Monika, so to say, with a lesson hidden in there too, basically just do it. But alright, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later folks.